Hey Eddie,
So,
Rick Muhammad, Brawler Sports Media.
Yes,
AJ and Miller. Is that a possibility
It's a
going to
big
happen
fight.
in 2019?
It's a big fight. You know, I mean, look, we want to make the fight that everybody wants, and we want to make the biggest fight in world boxing, which is against Deontay Wilder. So, but if they continue to not want the fight, then we've got to look at our options. If we fight in the UK, probably our choice is Dillian Whyte. If we fight in America, the absolute choice is Jarrell Miller. That's a big fight, you know. And Miller, like I said, he's gaining credibility. He's staying active, and he's becoming a real force in the division. And I'm not sure that there's many heavyweights that will beat Jarrell Miller.
Eddie, what do you say to when people kind of roll their eyes at the December 1st deadline for Wilder? Because people say, why in your right mind would you negotiate before the fight? I mean,
there's no such thing as a December 1st deadline. All we're asking is to open talks for Wilder. When you've got an advisor or a manager that is refusing to have a conversation about an undisputed heavyweight world championship fight, fans have to be thick if they think Joshua doesn't want the fight. How do you expect to make a fight when the advisor won't even have a discussion about it, not even a cup of coffee?
When's the last time you talked to Shelly Finkel?
He emailed us about 4 days ago and said we're not interested in meeting. We're not trying to get the fight done before December 1st. We just know that if we start negotiations after the December 1st, it's not something, we know the relationship. It's not going to get done in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. It's going to take time. And actually now, I've had some positive conversations this week about the fight because I've had to remove it from Shelly Finkel because the relationship is so bad. You know, originally I got my dad, who is 70, and Shelly is, 80. They've got a combined age of 150, which is a lovely thing, to have a chat because they're old school and Shelly doesn't like me. But he's even lost the plot with my dad. So we've had to remove Shelly Finkel out of the picture and go our own way, and we've made some good progress this week. We're not saying you have to do a deal tonight, tomorrow, next week. We're just saying let's talk about it.
Is there truth to what Wilder says though, that you move forward a little more cautiously when it comes to making a Wilder fight because of the power he has? And
mate, he's just fought Alexander Povetkin. He's just fought Vladimir Klitschko. Let's just wrap this up in terms of credibility and legacy and records. Joshua has had 22 22 professional fights. He's beaten Povetkin, Klitschko, Dillian Whyte, Dominic Brazil, Joseph Parker, Carlos Takam. The list goes on. 22 fights. Deontay Wilder was fighting, I think, Jason Gavin or someone like that. I don't even think he got to Jason Gavin yet. So we're well ahead of our time. He's a unified champion. He's got 4 belts in the division. He's a #1 heavyweight, second to none. He sold 320,000 tickets in his last 4 fights. Deontay Wilder was collapsing on the floor when they found out they'd sold $1 million worth of tickets in half an hour. If we don't sell $5 million worth of tickets in 10 minutes, I'll have a heart attack with Anthony Joshua. So don't worry about Anthony Joshua. The truth is I think the whole thing was orchestrated. Frank Warren was involved in the so-called 50 million offer that they never sent a contract for, and now they end up fighting Tyson Fury. Wilder has doubled his profile on the back of using Anthony Joshua's name. I would do exactly the same thing if I was Deontay Wilder, because no one else knows who he is. So use the guy who's one of the biggest stars in boxing to promote you and to improve your profile, and he's done a brilliant job. And Wilder against Fury, if it happens, is a really good fight to find out who the second best heavyweight is in the world. It's not a fight that people are crying for. The one they're crying for is Joshua Wilder, and we must make it happen.
Eddie, Shelly claims that he's not meeting because they haven't received a real offer. Has he defined to you or anyone what is a real offer? What would signify a real offer?
Well, a real offer, they reportedly and via email agreed to our offer of $15 million. By the way, with a one-way rematch. Okay? So all of a sudden now, this offer was so bad, yet they agreed to it in writing. We've then gone back and requested a meeting. They've said no. You have to make an offer. So last week we made an offer which was a percentage split with a minimum guarantee with a 2-fight deal.
Oh wow.
If Anthony Joshua wins, Deontay Wilder still gets to fight him again in America. Okay? Now, whatever they think of the deal, they've said still, we're not interested in meeting. So that tells you everything you need to know.
What's Al Heyman saying about this, since it's Shelly Finkel? Because, you know, you got Al Heyman.
Well, Al Heyman doesn't really say a lot, you know. But ultimately, he's a bright guy. I'm sure he wants to make the fight.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to him because we can't make any leeway with Shirley Winkle. So, you know, the move now is for us to try and make the fight elsewhere. But you have to understand, you know, when people say, oh, they don't want the fight, all we continue to do is try and make the fight. Like, it'd be easy for us to wait now. If we didn't want the fight, why would we even want a meeting? Like, you think really we're that bothered about people's opinions? Right. We want to try and make the fight. Otherwise, we could say, okay, we'll wait till December and see how we get on. We can't wait till December. Yeah. We've got mandatories coming up at the end of October with the WBO. Yep. The fight's going to take a month, 2 months to try and negotiate anyway. So why not have a conversation?